Together we can. So that's today. Because I believe that if we're going to grow spiritually, we've got to surround ourselves with the right people. Together we can rebuild. Together we can renovate. Together we can be transformed. Together we can make a difference in this world that God has placed us in. Together we can. Number one, we need to see that together we grow. Now, when I say the word grow, I'm not talking about numerical church growth right here. I'm talking about your individual growth with God. Because how many of you know, we've talked about this over and over and we'll keep talking about it, but how many of you know that when you get saved, when you get in the kingdom, that's not enough? I mean, thank God for that, because that in and of itself is the greatest thing you'll ever do in your life. And if you're here today and you've never been saved, you've never crossed over, you've never said yes to Jesus like these precious people did that we baptized today. If you've never said yes to Jesus, man, you need to do that. That's the greatest thing you'll ever do. But when you get in the kingdom, that's not the end. That's just the beginning. God has a process. God wants to transform us. God wants to renew our mind. God wants to renovate us. God wants to rebuild us. God wants us to grow and become more like Him every day. So when I say together we grow, I'm talking about spiritual growth. We need to build a team. God never intended you and I as Christians, as followers of Christ, to live in isolation. God wants us to be together. If we're going to truly be transformed and truly be renovated in our own walk with God, then we've got to build a team around us of people of like faith. One of the main reasons that new converts and Christians fall back into their old lifestyle is not because they give in to an old addiction. It's not because, listen, it's not because the temptation is too great. One of the main reasons that young believers and believers alike fall back into an old lifestyle is because they still run with the same people. If you're a new convert, if you're a new Christian, you need to build a new team. It's time when somebody gives their life to Jesus, bring them into your circle, man, and begin to encourage them. We need people. We need friends that are Barnabas friends. We need people that will encourage us. And you need to be that kind of friend to the other folks in your circle. Anybody ever messed up? I mean, they've sinned, they've messed up. I mean, they've totally, royally screwed up. Come on, you know anybody like that? Maybe it was you. And you found yourself, man, you felt so much guilt, and you're laying on your back and you're looking up because you're at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom, and somebody comes alongside, and instead of reaching down and helping you up, they kick you. God never called. Listen, the Christian faith is not about kicking people while they're down. The Christian faith is about helping people when they're down to get back up. That's what we're about. And I don't know if you're where you are today. You may be here. Maybe you're at the low of the low of the low of the low. Can I just pick you up today? God is not done with you yet. If you're not dead, look around. If you're not dead, God's not done. You know what we need in our lives? We need people that will challenge us to be all we can be for God. We don't need, are you listening? Say, I'm listening. We don't need people that are constantly telling us what we cannot do. Can I just tell you, greater is He that is in you than he that's in the world. Nothing is impossible with God. We need friends. Because can I just tell you that we're all going to mess up? Look, don't put me on a pedestal. I don't want to. I don't want to let you down, But I'm a human being. I'll probably let you down. I apologize ahead of time. I don't want to, but because I'm a human being. Listen, I want you to understand we're all going to mess up. We need friends that love us. Watch this. Unconditionally. Look at me. We need friends that will love us unconditionally. Some of you, man, you've got a Christian friend that's done you wrong and messed up. You know what you need to do? You need to be that friend that encourages them, that even confronts them, that challenges them, but also be that friend that forgives them and moves on. There is a purpose and a reason for your rebirth, for your rebuild, for your renovation, for your transformation. There's a purpose for your maturity. And the purpose is not to walk around looking good, looking spiritual. It's not to just show yourself off and say, hey, I've arrived. Now I am spiritually mature. Look at me. No. There's a purpose. And there's a reason why that God wants you to grow in your faith. And that reason is so that He can use you and use me to gain ground for the kingdom. To gain ground for the kingdom. God wants us as individuals to be transformed. And one way we can do that is to surround ourselves with the right kind of people.